Toys, toys, toys. Everyone had a favourite toy when they were younger, right? I had a couple of teddy bears from Boots. That's right, Boots the pharmacist, yes. I called the smaller one George and the larger one Menguin because I couldn't pronounce penguin when I was young. I know, how cute. Speaking of toys, haha, good transition, right? I recently played Toy Story 2 over Christmas, as it is one of my favourite movie tie-in games. I'm going to spoil the video now and say obviously it's really good, and I actually know a few other people who also love it. Let's find out why, and have a look at Toy Story 2, also known as Toy Story 2 Action Game and Toy Story 2 Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. Catchy. Enjoy! Toy Story 2 was developed by Traveller's Tales and published by Activision and Disney Interactive for the PlayStation, N64 and PC in November 1999, the same time as the Disney Pixar film. After selecting some initial graphics settings, 1080, cool, watching the delightful Game Studio video logos and this absolutely stunning intro with the aliens, we are brought to the main menu. The options menu is an Etch-a-Sketch, which I think is absolutely amazing, and the level select menu is this fantastic cardboard and paper looking reconstruction of the various locations throughout the game with these great little sound effects for each place. And honestly, probably one of the most quaint little level selects I've seen. Selecting the first level, we are treated to an ultra high resolution movie clip of Woody being stolen. I've never seen Toy Story 2 in such high quality before. Disney Plus who? Loading up the level, we are plonked straight onto the floor in Andy's bedroom as Buzz Lightyear. And honestly, just from this, I'm already completely won over. Look how cute it is. Toy Story 2 has a similar format to your average 3D platformer, where Buzz can run around, jump and double jump, climb up poles, clamber over objects, and swing off monkey bars. He has 3 forms of attack: his laser, spin abilities, and ground pound, of which the former 2 can be held in charge to unleash a more devastating attack. The laser attack can also be aimed in first person, or visor mode, where the target can also be locked onto, very useful for taking down flying enemies and shooting certain environmental targets like locks. There is also a super powerful green laser pickup in each level, which is even more effective against enemies. The enemies in this game take the form of evil toys, which I can only assume are controlled by the evil Emperor Zerg due to their suspiciously similar likeness. Most enemies can be taken down with a couple of hits from Buzz's laser, but some like to fight back with their own firepower and shouldn't be underestimated. Buzz's health is denoted by his battery power, which is so cute. What a cute idea. He also has a number of lives, which decrease every time your battery runs out. Andy's house is a great first level, and just a great level overall to be honest, where the enemies and platforming challenges are on the more forgiving side, and the setting is honestly perfect. Everything is to scale for a toy, making a location that would otherwise feel mundane into an amazing world to discover. From towering houseplants that can be climbed to reach the attic, to bouncy armchairs that can be ground pounded to fly, to fall with style from. There are a few references from the film, such as the cardboard bank to the Buzz Lightyear bedspread. Oh look, a cheeky Traveller's Tales reference, I see you there. So what the hell do you do in this game then? Good question. There are 5 challenges in each standard level, where completing each one grants you a Pizza Planet token, which are required to progress I believe. Although because I was such a pro gamer, I always collected enough and never encountered any lock levels, thank you very much. The challenges are the same in each level. Collect 50 coins in each level and bring them to Ham. Find 5 missing persons for a mother hen / mother duck / mother ship / any old motherfucker.
Space Ranger!
A race level, which involves either racing someone or collecting a number of objects in a short amount of time. Finding a Pizza Planet token, hiding somewhere in the level, usually requiring some tricky platforming or a puzzle. And finally, defeating a mini-boss in the level. If you are ever stuck and don't know where to find the next token, Rex can point you in the right direction. And trust me, he is happy to help.
Buzz!
There are also these Rex help cubes floating about for more specific advice in certain parts of the levels. In Andy's house, Buzz has got to help Bo Peep get 5 of her little sheepies which have fled from the flock. And honestly, with some of the hazards lying around Andy's house, I'm surprised I didn't accidentally get shredded apart and turned into lamb mince. Hey, at least someone left the hob on so we can start cooking them up as soon as possible. Like, Andy's mum, what the hell are you playing at, leaving all this stuff on? Are you trying to kill off everyone, or getting a disembodied ear from the bookshelf? Buzz heads down to the basement basement to talk to Mr. Potato Head. There are 5 different unlockable power-ups located in boxes throughout the game, which can be opened up by returning a body part to the talking spud. That specific power-up will then be unlocked in all the levels it's present in. There are also a few cases where they can only be unlocked in future levels, meaning some backtracking is going to be required later on, methinks. Also, who let all this green toxic goo into the basement? Why the hell are Andy's pipes connected up to Shrek's ear cavity? However, the shield power-up does the perfect job of protecting us from Shrek's ear detritus, and we collect another sheep in no time. Heading up to the attic, a tin robot mini-boss awaits us on a platform of cardboard boxes. I feel like I remember it being super terrifying when I was younger, especially thanks to this pretty scary boss music. It's the way he just relentlessly keeps coming towards you, like back off bud, jeez. However, every now and then he has to stop moving and wind up again, the perfect time to attack, and he's broken down pretty quickly. Having collected the last sheep for Bo Peep, the toys head off into Andy's neighbourhood, which again is brightly coloured, and mundane objects become fantastical assault courses. The army officer is looking for his 5 lost troops, one of which can be found right in Andy's back garden, hiding in the molehills after stomping on them all, while also avoiding the out-of-control lawnmower. Honestly, Andy's mum needs to keep all these appliances under control. The rest can be found throughout the neighbourhood, shooting flares for attention. This token requires you to inflate and stomp on this cute little inflatable duck, although the presence of this lock power-up under the water suggests maybe I wasn't meant to be able to get that just yet. Guess I'm just a pro gamer 360 no scope. There's some pretty cool platforming challenges, including this fun bit, sliding down and jumping between washing lines. There's also a giant tree that Buzz can climb up and almost definitely fall down from. Whoa! 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 Thank God you can drop a rope down to get halfway up again, but geez, this bit was hard. Why couldn't I do it? A Zerg themed kite mini boss awaits Buzz at the top, and it was a bit hard to work out what to do, and I didn't appreciate the camera locking on much, but eventually tearing it apart, Buzz heads back down to race RC car again, where there is some conveniently placed wet concrete, falling conkers and Zerg cars to get in Buzz's way. Again, I think you were only meant to beat RC car after unlocking the zoom boots from Potato Head, but thanks love, I don't think I need them. Just call me a pro gamer Mountain Dew 1v1 me on Rust. Next up is a boss level. The game is split into 5 sections of 3 levels, with the first 2 being exploration levels, and the third a boss fight. Bombs Away sees Buzz take on a toy biplane, which is constantly trying to fly by and shoot Buzz down. However, a few laser blasts later, and the plane is down, and Buzz and the toys move on to the construction yard. Another great level, the centre of the area contains a massive structure made of steel girders, with a massive pool of concrete at the bottom and construction vehicles littered around. A little tyke foreman has lost his buddies, and Slinky Dog makes you collect 5 spanners in a short amount of time in the thick concrete, a bit of a challenge. This porter cabin has some more of that weird green toxic goop, and a crazy filing cabinet leading to a paint mixing challenge, which is basically just mixing the 3 primary colours in turn to earn a Pizza Planet token, but when I was young, wow, what a puzzle. Climbing the massive steel girders is a challenge in itself, especially with cranes giving Buzz moving platforms to navigate, and red hot bolts flying about the place. Halfway up, you find one of Mr. Potato Head's missing eyeballs, which he requires to unlock the disc launcher, which you need to defeat the mini-boss, an insane jackhammer. He bounces around trying to smash Buzz in. He's pretty terrifying, constantly following you around. Jesus, when did he get so close? Moving on, Alleys and Gullies sees the gang explore back streets and rainy alleyways. These cardboard planes in boxes are super annoying, and the boxes take a lot of firepower to destroy. A poor mother duck has lost her ducklings, but unfortunately there are some power-ups we're not going to unlock until later levels in the game. Sorry love, but not even my pro gamer skills are gonna help here. For the moment, we're only able to have a go at collecting the 50 coins, reaching the extra token with some helium balloons, and collecting 5 bones for Slinky, which looks absolutely impossible at first. How the hell am I expected to be able to jump, collect a bone, and land on these floating boxes and planks without falling in? Except when you realise you're meant to just jump and come back in one clean motion, and the challenge is actually pretty easy. Having got all we can, Buzz takes on the next boss level, Slime Time, in a boss that is actually a bit of a challenge. A humanoid mass of goo and rubbish, this boss will decrease in size each time it gets hit by Buzz's laser, but will increase again if left alone, adding a time element and making this boss pretty challenging. Each time the boss is reduced to nothing, it comes back even bigger, and I even lost a life, although came back immediately honestly, with the boss at the same health, so not much of a challenge after all then. Eventually taking it down, the toys finally reach Al's Toy Barn. This level is another colourful one, and the theming is pretty great, with plenty of great platforming challenges again, especially at this super cool area at the front of the store. The mother hen is looking for her lost chicks, a couple of which have found themselves in some difficult locations, such as inside this egg and on top of some gumball machines. Mr. Hen opens up the egg for a limited time, meaning you have a mad dash on a skateboard, followed by bouncing on a mini trampoline, swinging from a bar, and zipping down a line to get there in time to rescue it. The other chick involves an even crazier route. Assuming you've picked up Potato Head's arm to unlock the rocket boots, Buzz has to stomp on the bucking hay bale switch to activate it for a short time, rush back up to the rocket boots, sending you on a crazy trip across all the tills, whoa, into the shopping trolley. Then you have to jump up on some gumball machines via a jack-in-the-box, swing across some monkey bars onto the hay bale ride, finally bucking you over to the chick. Whew, you'd think we deserve a Pizza Planet token after all of that. Although, talking to Rex, we find out that one chick lies at the top of a massive pile of cardboard boxes that can't be reached until we lock a power-up later on. Oh god, I guess we'll just have to do that all over again then, Jesus. Also, these flying spaceship bird things are super bloody annoying, like Buzz off. A little fire-breathing toy robot is quickly dispatched thanks to the green laser, 50 coins returned to Ham, and some filing cabinet drawers unlocked to reach the hidden token. And I couldn't seem to find where the racing one was, so guess we'll just head off and come back later. The next level, Al's Spaceland, is probably my least favourite level, both in the aesthetic and the level design. It's kind of like a space-themed section of the store, which sounds cool, but I found it to be a bit one-note, with a lot of long corridors with wall-to-wall Buzz Lightyear boxes. Challenges include racing a spaceship toy down some zip lines, fighting evil Buzz in a space buggy, and collecting 5 aliens for the mothership. God, I love those aliens. There were some cool bits to the level, such as defeating Evil Buzz, this hanging mobile themed like a planet, and the arcade room, although I swear to God it took so long to get the stupid token out of the stupid claw machine. It's lined up, give it to me! The next boss is a giant version of the stupid flying bird alien spaceship thing that I hate so much, and it proves to be a kind of tough boss actually. Each time it is attacked, a pod is detached, releasing a toy, with each pod having a more dangerous enemy. With all the pods gone, the main ship must be taken on, which is actually kinda difficult with the massive laser that is super hard to avoid. I'm a firing my laser! Plus, every time you try and take it on from underneath, it tries to sit on you to crush you to death. How kind. Moving on from the store, the toys head to Al's flat, where they have to make their way up the building via an elevator shaft. Initially, Buzz has to swing across a series of electrified bars over an electrified puzzle. How electrifying. Picking up a shoe and a wind-up mouse, he meets Mr. Potato Head, who unlocks a grappling hook. Thank you. Allowing Buzz to make his way up a series of air vents through fire and wind to the control room. Solving a puzzle to line up some wires, Buzz unlocks the entrance to the main elevator shaft, where 2 lifts are constantly travelling up and down, giving Buzz some platforms to play with. Different challenges can be found throughout the shaft, including a Race the Pizza Planet token down the shaft task, and a spider with a machine gun mini-boss, with some fans thrown in for good measure. This level is pretty cool. Gliding up these shortcuts is super cool. Look how gracefully it looks though. Whee! And falling all the way back down again is entertaining to say the least. Eventually reaching Al's penthouse, the gang meets Jessie and Bullseye. Howdy, Buzz! But for some reason, the Prospector and Woody aren't here, but whatever, it's a kid's game, the plot doesn't have to make sense, moving on. This is another level like Andy's house, where we get to explore Al's flat freely, and there's a lot to discover, where everything has a general Wild West theme, from these rattlesnakes and flapping vultures to these mustachioed gunmen, which, fun fact, were actually replaced with blonde cowboys in the European version, as the original designs were perceived to be an offensive portrayal of Mexican people. This level is pretty good, with Bullseye needing 5 shoe horses, even though he only has 4 feet? Suspicious. A gunslinger mini-boss that is defeated in not much time. And these annoying cannons positioned around Al's flat for some reason. Good burglar prevention, I guess. And this weird train puzzle that honestly I was too stupid to work out how to solve for ages, and then apparently just did it. Also, Al's bed is a train. A train. And not even a good looking one. Jessie also wants you to find her critters for her, which annoyingly have positioned themselves in some really challenging places, such as this one across a bunch of swinging bars, and the one in the bathroom that took me so long to get just because I was just incapable of jumping from these sponges apparently. Am I stupid? Yes? The water filling up the bathroom completely is so fun though and looks great. And no, don't ask me why it doesn't flood the rest of the apartment. I don't know. Physics? Physics! The room containing all of Woody's memorabilia is chock full of great little objects objects, and the entrance hallway of the penthouse is also lovingly themed. I would actually say that the game as a whole looks pretty great, with a lot of great little details throughout to reinforce the idea that you were just a toy navigating your way throughout the big wide world. Traveller's Tales already did a great job of this in A Bug's Life, so it's no surprise then that they also did a fantastic job with a 3D Toy Story game too. I'm using a mod here to get the game in 1080p, and even with that it still looks pretty great, which is a testament to the overall design and style. While there was still a fair bit of pop-in, it was nowhere near as bad as in A Bug's Life, and I had no trouble navigating around the levels here. The sound design was cute, and I don't think I'll ever get Buzz's falling noise out of my head. A lot of the voice actors from the film reprised their roles here, and it really does bring something special to the game.
To infinity and beyond!
Need some coins here, Buzz!
Every kid wants one and I got it! The Buzz Lightyear disc launcher!
And let's not forget about the music here. Created again by the same people who did the music for Bug's Life, pretty much every piece is iconic, with some orchestral and big band tunes, and a couple of trip-hop kind of pieces. Having explored around the penthouse, Buzz heads back to the lift to take on his arch nemesis, the evil Emperor Zerg. This boss was so difficult. He hovers around, firing you with these yellow balls, occasionally floating over the gap between the elevator and the wall, and he's also just unaffected by Buzz's laser attack. He's also extremely difficult to get near, as he just floats away. I tried using Buzz's charged up spin attack, but I found it was just a little bit too difficult to control. I ended up defeating him by backing him up against the middle of the lift, and then jumping and immediately spinning, which took a hot minute. Plus, every time you attack him, he then unleashes some homing green balls. Leave me alone! Apparently there is actually a bug on modern PCs where he just moves a lot faster than he should do, which reassures me a bit because, you know, I still managed to do it, just saying, pro gamer here. With that disaster over, we move on to the final section of the game, rescuing Woody from the airport. The first level sees Buzz clambering over conveyor belts, mountains of luggage, and even various aircraft parts. Climbing up the shell of a broken down aeroplane was a good challenge, as was reaching the top of this seemingly endless series of luggage belts, where the prospector was waiting, just to be beaten to death in almost no time at all. Pathetic. Finding all the missing little tykes was another good challenge, with some super well hidden. I was also too stupid to even realise that there was a whole section through here for ages. The next power up from Mr. Spuddyhead with his cool hover boots. The next level gets the toys even closer to the plane taking Woody away, consisting of a giant roundabout with the plane constantly circling around and around. Again, the map here is just covered in green toxic goo, like why? Honestly, so lazy. At least just say it's petrol or something. Slinky is waiting in the centre of the roundabout, which itself is also filled with even more toxic goo, but with a path cleared out. He offers you a token if you can get from one end of the path to the other without touching the goo, and without jumping, and all within a short time limit. Was this the most stressful and challenging part of the game? Yes. Was this the most stressful and challenging part of a game ever? I'm not saying no. For real though, it was a good challenge, and took me a few tries to complete. Climbing up the central pole allows you to jump onto the plane. The perimeter of the map has various vehicles and structures that can only be reached by jumping from the wings of the plane, and they contain various important things like the pieces of luggage that the little tykes are missing, and the blacksmith mini-boss, who was actually kinda challenging due to these blue hot energy pulses he would send out, and he could only be defeated by spin attacking. Overall, this level was a bit meh. I love the theme, but it was just so big and spacious, it just felt so empty for most of it, especially due to the pop-in I mentioned earlier. Reaching the plane, it's time for Buzz to save Woody and Jessie from the prospector, who's also brought along his pals, the gunslinger and the blacksmith. The camera goes crazy in this level, swerving all over the place, which is pretty cool, but this fight on the other hand, it it not cool. It's not bad, but it kind of just feels a bit crazy and chaotic rather than challenging. Because all 3 enemies are attacking you at once, it can be a bit overwhelming and annoying, but I got the hang of it after a while, and having defeated all 3, Woody is mine. That's the game essentially over, although there are still a few more Pizza Planet tokens left to collect. Returning to Al's toy barn, the 5th chick can be found on top of this massive pile of cardboard boxes, reached with the now accessible hover boots. I still couldn't find the last Pizza Planet token, so I went to talk to Rex again, and he said, "Oh lol, you need to speak to Mr. Chicken again, you idiot." Wow, thanks game for making this the first and only time you have to speak to a character twice to get another challenge, Jesus. Having cleared up here, it was time to go back to alleys and gullies. The rocket boots can now be used to reach a few of the ducklings, not too much of a problem, and then the grapple hook can be used to climb up and around all these balcony fire escape bits. This bit did take a while, and was a bit confusing as I'm really thick, and some of the platforms were a bit narrow for my liking, but I eventually made it all the way to the top, where walking along the gutter, I managed to completely miss the jump. Oh dear. Okay, back up again then I guess if I have to. This time I made it across to find the mini-boss, a spinning top from Clown Hell, who didn't prove to be too difficult, thank god. Returning all these ducklings to their mother duck, we collected the final Pizza Planet token. Boy, we must have unlocked a super cool ending, right? Okay, we get one of the final scenes from the movie, and that's it. Not that I was actually expecting much else, but you know, it would have been a fun surprise. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any bonus levels or anything, so this is probably a good time to sum up the game as a whole. Even with all of its flaws, this will forever remain up there in my memory as one of my favourite film tie-in games from my childhood. The one thing it could have done better to tie together all the levels as a cohesive story would be have one main story objective in each level, rather than 5 seemingly random challenges that in themselves would not advance the story. However, for any child who's seen Toy Story 2, which is, you know, almost every single child at the time, this game does a perfect job of taking you throughout the toy's journey to rescue Woody, and being able to freely explore Andy's house was honestly magical to me as a child. The design and graphics do a great job at convincing us that we are but a small toy in the human world, with some challenges that were actually kinda challenging. I think it holds up as a great kids game, a great movie tie-in game, and a fantastically nostalgic game that I'm unlikely to forget anytime soon. Oh, that music. That sweet, sweet music. Wow, what a game. What other game puts you in the body of a toy and lets you explore the big wide world? I mean, I guess Toy Story 1, right? But I mean, whatever. Honestly though, it's definitely my favourite toy-based 3D action-adventure platform game on the PlayStation and or the PC. Please like and subscribe if that's what you feel like doing, and leave a comment if you also love this game as much as I do. And as always, thanks for watching.
Hey, over here, Buzz!
Hey, Buzz!
Buzzy boy!
Howdy, Buzz!
Buzz! Buzz!
I protect the galaxy from the threat of invasion from the evil Emperor Zerg, sworn enemy of the Galactic Alliance.
There seems to be no sign of intelligent life anywhere.
You're mocking me, aren't you?